if we could get into it, you had a brick and mortar pizza business, and that kind of evolved to King of Fire. Can you tell me what happened with that?
Yeah. So in 2007, I sold my 3 restaurants that I had, and we converted them to Donato's Pizzas. We grew that operation to 15 stores. At the end of 2012, I actually ended up selling my shares, got out, took a non-compete for a while, and kind of tried some other adventures and stuff. And just nothing really was panning out. The love of pizza, once you're in the industry, man, it's like the love of pizza just keeps drawing you back in. You just can't really
kind of like the
leave,
mafia there, huh?
You see what happened is,
try to get out and they pull you back.
You just can't get out. And we ended up, me and Michael Shepard collaborated one day, and we said, let's start perfectingpizza.com. And what that is basically an online resource website for all mom and pop pizzerias.
Yep.
You know, we have handbooks to just unlimited resources, videos, every kind of pizza style you want to make. Everything's on this website, and checklists, whatever you want, we got it, right?
Yep.
But it took us 2 years, and I think this was 2015. And then it led to, 16, 17. We ended up, we were just hammering out content. And then we went to Pennsylvania to see Tony Caramelli.
Yep.
And see his wood-fired trailer and what he was doing with that. At that time, Justin Wadstein ended up starting his mobile unit.
That's right. Another world pizza champion.
Yeah. And me and Justin would always talk, and I'd help him out try to help him out on the business side and hey, do this, do that with numbers. But he was so creative on how to do events and parties. And he's just at the right spot. And we ended up literally, Albert, once I talked to Tony Caramelli about his, and we actually saw what he was doing. And at that same time, Carmine was doing a smaller unit in Jersey.
Yeah.
And then him and I started talking, and I was like, man, all these guys, and they're talking about how they're cash counting it. And it's just printing money. And I'm like, okay. So we started talking the numbers, and I'm like, man, this really makes sense. And I'd love to offset some income too, to just have something on the side, doing, weddings, private events.
Yep.
And it was just a complete side hustle. And I talked to Michael, and Michael and I, we started doing some research. He was like, dude, I really like one too, And we were like, this will be great content for our website. Let's get some and try it out. So it was funny. We researched and when I say this, Michael Shepard, he's very methodical. He's very detail oriented. And I love that about him. We ended up searched every single company out there. Then I started breaking down okay, well, let's think of, if this thing's on the road 24/7, who's going to be, what trailer is going to last the longest?
Yep.
You got a huge investment here. So that's where we ended up running into the Fire Within group. And that ended up, you pick up the phone, and I was like, okay, let's see who these guys are, and I ended up meeting a guy named Ajit, and Ajit, he owns the company, and he's over here talking to us and just loving life. And I'm like, okay, this dude's super friendly. And I think that day we talked on the phone, it lasted an hour, Albert. And I think I'm pretty sure you've met him and talked to him on the phone before as well. He's just a great guy. So we get to talking, and I'm like, okay, so he invites us out to the Wood-Fired University out there in Colorado. And he was like, I want you to come out. I want you and Michael. And I was like, okay, well, if we're going to make the trip, we're going to get some content out of this. I really want to collaborate, and let's see what you're doing. Well, that's when we met Tommy Garna, and we met him and some other guys out there. And one thing led to another, but I was blown away of what, and it was funny. The first class we went to was the advanced wood fire. It was the next one coming up was the advanced one. So they really weren't focusing on the pizza side. They were teaching everything you can cook with fire. Yes. And it was endless. And the way Tommy presented, I was just blown away from his chef skills. This is a pizza guy, but dude, he's cooking pigs in here, quarter chickens. We're cooking shrimp. I mean, you named it. We put it in this oven. We had a big fish that we cooked and did a sea salt bath
Wow.
out in the
Wow.
wood-fired oven. And I'm like, I literally was blown away. And then on the last day, they start talking numbers and what Tommy was doing in his business and like what a catering looks like and what,
Yep.
and then that, my friend, is what turned my eyes upside down. I said, wow, the numbers that I've been projecting and Michael was projecting, everything's real. This is a true business opportunity. And nobody is doing this on the East Coast. I mean, my guys up north, Pennsylvania, Jersey,
Sure.
New York, they're all doing it, but nobody in North and South Carolina was doing this at the
Right.
time. And I was like, this is great. Michael's same thing. Nobody was doing this in Ohio.
Right.
And so we were like, oh my gosh, what a great time. So we ended up buying 2 trailers and Michael started his thing. I started my thing, and we got into it. And I feel like I'm a big picture person. I like to look far into the future. And I kept seeing, I was like, okay, we started with the catering trailers. Our health department won't allow you to vend, meaning you can't do multiple transactions at a time. You can do one transaction and that's considered a catering, but you can't do multiples without having an enclosed trailer. So at that time I called Audrey and I was like, look, I need to find me a used trailer. I couldn't afford a new one at the time. I was doing startup, He found me a used one, that one that they had built back in 13. Now this is 2000, this was going into 2019. So this trailer is 6 years old and it's built to withstand it. It's been miles and thousands of miles on the road. And here it is still today, fully operational. And so that just touches on the craftsmanship of the product they were building.
Sure. I know they have Forno Bravo ovens on top of the trailer. Correct.
Yeah, on the mobile ones. Now with the enclosed, you can literally, I mean, they've signed up with Munini, Forsofani, Marforni, Forno Bravo. So now you're getting a bigger collection. So if you're married or stuck to a brand, Project can now make that work for you. So
I didn't realize that.
They just did this deal. So I might be speaking a little ahead of turn, but it's okay, because at the end of the day, everybody needs to know that. Like it's important, because there are guys that are out there that are married to that one style. Definitely, if you have them in your restaurant and then you're going mobile, you want to keep the same, where everybody knows how each other cooks.
Well,